There's another topic that we want to talk about. It's a sort of sad Thursday. It seems like we're just talking about all the challenges in the environment. We've taken the story in the newspaper, I think, since the past 2 days about a lynching that took place in Ondo State, where a driver was, while driving, hits a motorcycle.
Yeah.
He hit a motorcycle. I don't want to call it Okada. He hit a motorcycle, and in turn, he was then attacked and lynched. People accused him at first. The first thing we saw in the papers was that, oh, suspected Yahoo boy lynched to death. Later, we found out that he wasn't a suspected Yahoo boy. It was that he had an accident. And then people suspected that when they got him out of the car, that maybe he's a Yahoo boy. Finally, the mom came out, and we read in the papers today that the 35-year-old driver is a driver of hailing cabs that came to visit his family in Ondo State. Vehicle had a problem, maybe brake failed, and there was an accident. And rather than the due process of taking him to the police station, getting things done properly, he was lynched and his life was lost. And this is not the first time it's happening. It's so sad we're still discussing this, and then we're going to discuss it's part of the systemic problem. What exactly is going on in the minds of people to make them think that the response to an accident is to lynch the driver?
So I'll start by saying that as much as we say people are frustrated and people are wicked, I also believe that most people who do this sort of things lack understanding. There's a reason for the justice system being put in place, and we must begin to educate people that there's a reason for this, and we will have to break it down to them for them to understand. If peradventure you kill somebody who is not guilty at the end of the day, you have lost an innocent life, which the justice system tries to prevent by saying, let's go through the right avenue. Let's make sure that we present all the facts. And then if we have to convict, we must definitely convict a criminal or someone who is guilty. And the law also has within its powers to determine the punishment that is suitable for that particular crime. But when we are upset, we are angry, we are frustrated, and we go ahead and start lynching people for perceived crime. I have seen somebody who was not a thief just finished and ran, and the person was shouting, thief, thief. The thief turned back and started shouting, thief, thief. And they hung the wrong person. And that is why they say we don't have to act out in anger. We do not have the powers to punish anybody, even if the crimes have been committed against us. The government has that prerogative to punish people who commit crimes. So if we begin to maybe explain to people to see, it could be your son tomorrow who is just passing by where they're shouting, thief, thief, and then they start shouting on him. Maybe the thief turns back and starts shouting on your son, thief, thief, and they lynch him. How would you feel? Maybe that would help us understand that we really need to take people to the appropriate quarters for this sort of punishment.
Okay, so let me put a bit of perspective. This wasn't the normal, like, stealing thing. This accident, an accident that led to the death of 4 people.
I know.
So 4 people died, and so they felt like this is a way of... And,
they went ahead to lynch.
The 4 people have, like... They have their families, people everybody is mourning. They feel maybe maybe they feel he was driving under the influence for whatever reason.
They still do not have the right. Yes, yeah, so I just use the thief to give an example of how this can come down.
But this particular scenario has happened before. Yeah. And they tend to just beat up the person. A trailer rams into somewhere, they catch the motorboy, they beat up the motorboy. And sometimes they beat him to the almost to the point of death. Yeah. And it happens a lot. So there's obviously a correlation between maybe something really bad, an accident happens, and the feeling of we are going to beat the person that did it. Okada riders tend to beat the driver that hits the bike on the road. And that has happened too. So, Mariam, you've been following this story. You even took it this morning. What would you say to this kind of situation?
Following.
And how can we... Yes, now you've been following it now.
I just read it today, but I mean, it's such a sad story.
Yeah.
Really. So, you see, we have a situation where 4 people died. And as you explained, these are 4 people, sons, brothers, family members, and they also feel aggrieved. But this what the mob did is that they made it 5 people. And if I even try to understand what the mob was trying to accomplish, is it justice? So I don't want to pass the buck here and say, oh, okay, maybe it's because our police never handle things on time, our justice system, people wait and wait, they never hear anything. Still, I feel that you should not be so blood hungry that you want to take another life. The driver did that by mistake. And if he was investigated and he found out that he was under the influence of drugs or alcohol, you know, the investigation will go on and he will be prosecuted, he will be locked up, he will pay the dues. And hopefully, you know, some sort of, I'm not saying that it makes up for anything, maybe some sort of conversation and compensation for the other family members, you know, but now everything, you know, this is the situation of 2 wrongs don't make a right. And then you have taken this boy whose mother is speaking and you're understanding. You see, sometimes I say, God, this is our God. He has a big job to do, because if I find myself, I would not know what to do. So it's just a sad situation all through. The best thing to do really is the justice system. That's why sometimes when we have conversations, Nima reminds us there is a reason we have this justice system. It's because people have taken liberties before. We're talking of apart from this, we're talking of a young boy, 500 level civil engineering student that was lynched by his own colleagues, students like him, because they think he stole a phone. What group of people, more than anyone in Nigeria, should know better? University students that are supposed to push for human rights and push for proper procedure and things like that will come together like a group of bandits and attack someone that they live with, that they know, that they see. So I don't want to just blame Nigeria. Oh, it's Nigeria. Things are hard in Nigeria. Things are hard everywhere, but people are not carrying sticks and stones and just going on a rampage and killing people. A mob action. You know, if it's one person, you can say this person went mad. But you have a whole group of people, there was no one there that could have said, no, this is too much. Just leave him, we'll take him to the police station. We need to do better as people. We need to think about future. This story also reminds me of the Apple, is it Apple 4? Or,
yeah.
You know, those boys? I still remember that thing clearly because it was just a few months after I had my son. And to see, I kept saying, these boys were born just the way I've given birth to my own son. They were born, you know, their parents loved them, named them, raised them, sent them off to university. But because a group of people thought that they may have stolen and just killed them in cold blood, how are you?
So I like when you said blood hungry. So I'm going to ask YK, because YK, you've lived many more years than us, and you've probably lived when we were not so blood hungry, you know.
Or have we always?
Or have we always been this blood thirsty? Like, have we always been this violent as a people that we just lash out at everything? Were we like this before, or when did this change now happen?
That's why I hate to keep singing the same song.
Leadership.
You know, it's leadership. It's this systemic failure from when we got our independence to date. And that's why I say, if you have ruled in this country between that time to today, just take the blame. Say, I am. If they all come out, I say, they form a group, a caucus. We are to blame for the rot in Nigeria, and we are now taking the responsibility to solve the problem.
That should
we
be
will
their
start healing.
Then we will know that Nigeria will change. Because I'm sure I've said this story before on this set. When I think I was like maybe 7 or 8, there was this supermarket then called Kingsway. Yeah, and my grandmother, she just fainted. It was me, my mother, and my grandmother. And my grandmother on my mother's side now. My grandmother she looked white. She wasn't white completely, but she looked white. Everybody came to help her. I'm telling you, I was watching because I was a small child. I was just watching. Everybody came to help her. They were fanning her until my grandmother came too. And then they were telling my mother, take her to the hospital. And my grandmother was like, go and faint today.
They'll pick up phones.
They will film you.
And then they will steal your things. They will steal your things.
They will even steal the pants you are wearing. That is what the decadence that we have entered in this country. So my own is okay, we are complaining here. Is how we are going to change it.
Yes.
I think our conversation helps to enlighten people.
Yes, so my own is, if you are in leadership position today, set yourself and test and change the situation. Change Nigeria.
Take responsibility.
Take responsibility. Let us all change. Because if you change from where you are, it will drop down. It will trickle down. You know, and you will see that within the next 5 years, the Nigeria that we are calling today is not the Nigeria that we'll call tomorrow.
You know,
but in this case now, we have, like the school one that happened, there were students, a group of students who were studying, who were supposed to know better. The idea for going to the university is that you
get more informed.
broaden your horizon. You are able to have other perspectives. You are able to do better. You are becoming a reformed human being. We expect them to practice some of the things they are learning in the classroom. That's on one.
Yeah, university that you close for 8 months.
Wait, nah.
The
People on the street.
How will they know better?
The people
they have not
on
even
the
learned
street.
anything. They have even just come back after 8 months. They can't
to
learn
write
anything.
exams.
No, but that still doesn't mean when they were at home, they
teach
had
them like
no,
robots.
hold
They've
on. Now,
taught
they had
them-
their phones. They had their they go online. They see what happens everywhere
Civic
else in the
education.
world.
Yeah.
Yes, they are able to. They are human beings. So the thing is, have we lost our humanity? Leave governments now. I understand that it starts from there, but even you, government is not coming to my house to tell me to feed my children.
At least as a
Government is not
university
coming to
student,
my
you are
house to
taught
tell me
ethics and civic
to do.
responsibility.
Hold on, no, hold on. Government is
So-
not coming to my house to tell me to greet my neighbor when I see my neighbor. Government is not doing that. I am choosing to do that. So how do we help these people to choose to do better? So understand
Change
that.
narrative.
Wait now.
What you are doing right
That's
now
what we're trying to teach them
that's
right
what I'm
now.
saying.
Yes.
We know all this is
Understand
to
that
change the narrative.
everybody has their responsibilities. Don't do the one that is not your own. You are not the police to give punishment to anybody.
Yeah, you're not the judge.
Even if they have stolen from you, you are not the judge. Take them to the appropriate quarters. Let the system handle it. Can we start telling ourselves that? So
Let's
instead
take
of
a call from
flogging down your house help
Jos.
and hitting the house help for stealing, why don't you take the house help to the police?
Bob has called
That
us from
person
Jos.
should go to prison.
Yes.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah,
That's the system.
Bob has called us
Yeah.
from Jos.
It's the system.
If the justice system works fast, we would have
No,
less.
it's not about
No, it's not
fast.
about live fast first.
Well, let me take
have come
Bob's call. We'll now discuss the justice system.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
My sister, you are just taking my call
Aw.
after you have done my credit for over
Was
30
so-
minutes
was
or
so
30
sorry.
minutes.
No.
I'll take
I'm
them to the
charging you
justice.
for that.
And she's calling from your
Knowing
state.
fully well that money is very hard to come by.
It is
So
well.
when bank does not give somebody the money you deposited with them.
Oh,
You suffer receiving money from bank and they give
Nigeria,
them
elaborate.
to pay for you.
Sorry.
Well, try to
Oh,
avoid it.
sorry.
Oh,
Well,
no.
my
sorry.
greetings to you sisters. You are great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Especially that the last daughter.
Thank you, sir.
It's unfortunate. Just like what Fela's daughter has said, that in the past, when we have war against indiscipline, you don't see all this lawlessness. You just don't see all this lawlessness. It's like Nigeria is a different Nigeria we used to know in the past. I think I will put the blame on the leadership. You understand me? The leadership has to take the blame. Because if you make a pronouncement about discipline, you understand me, when they don't see you doing otherwise, nobody will dare do otherwise. Especially when we have the past government that believe in war against discipline. Everybody that witnessed that government will know that it's a government to the core, a disciplined government. You understand me? They say good things doesn't last. But that notwithstanding, I have to probably put.
Oh, so sorry, but we got your call. You know, there's something, when YK talked about leadership, I really can relate because at least I don't know about when war against indiscipline happened, but I knew that under Fashola, I would always quote him. Sometimes I get tired of quoting that under Fashola we did not have sirens. I've been in a car right beside, and they were like, that's governor's convoy. I'm like, that's the governor's convoy. The deputy governor, that's deputy governor's convoy. And sort of everything, there was a level of sanity. There was no siren blowing. He did not allow it because he embodied that discipline. Then you go into Alausa at that time. Hey. You cannot try yourself. Oh. Hospitals, everybody, the power of one. at the right space can make huge impact. And I believe that it still can happen for us right now. All the things we're saying is because we know that people can get away with it. There's impunity. They will not catch it. Nothing would happen. But when we start seeing a sense of justice, it says that the government is not joking. It says that if you do this, you might get into big trouble. Then we can easily change as a people. We're not that hard, you know. So our heart goes out to, honestly, this Tope Olorunfemi that was lynched. Our heart goes out to the 4 that died in the accident. You know, the truth is accidents happen. There was an accident that they said happened on Lagos Ibadan Expressway where it's about we don't know, about 13 people might have died. Accidents happen. So when accidents happen, they should follow the rule of law. If people steal, stealing can happen. It's a crime. Then they follow the rule of law. If anything that in life is wrong, we already have a system to correct it. You know, we shouldn't start helping ourselves.
What made us blood hungry again? Let me remind you. These people are too young too. When I was young, I was a kid. They used to catch armed robbers, and then they used to do public execution.
Yeah.
So, and you know,
but that served as a deterrent. Or you felt immediately.
Deterrent? Were there no armed robbers? There was still armed robbers.
Nah.
It didn't reduce nothing.
Okay,
what I'm trying to say, it fed that barbaric
part of us, but we stopped it now.
That bloodthirsty, because people used to go with their drink and their everything, and they would be watching.
Whoa.
Like
and
the show is
like romance.
We're out of time on the show today. That's on one side. On another side is the fact that, yes, we look to the past to learn, and we draw lessons from the past to help us plan a better future. I'm praying that we don't ever have this kind of situation again. And I know it seems funny to say we're praying about it. We should just have justice. By the time we sentence a few people from the school that lynched the boy that they said allegedly stole
people have been arrested so far. Thank you, police officers.
Thanks to the police for doing that. Let's now see them sentenced to prison and it's in the papers. We might be able to cause a bit of change in this system. Please, if you see a crime, the right action is to report to the police or take place to the police station. Not to carry out the justice by yourself.